Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we are in Idaho on the Middle Fork Boise River. Last year I went and helped a friend do some gold getting. We did some dredging, we did some sluicing, we did a bunch of panning, and we got a bunch of gold. So this video is going to be two parts. The first part is getting the gold out of the river with a preview of the gold at the end, and part two will be once we get back at camp, cleaning the gold, running the gold cube, taking the magnetic sand out and stuff like that. So please stay tuned for part two. Here we go. So basically every day starts where Rich gives us a ride down to the water, so we all hop in his truck, just the two of us usually. Takes about maybe 5-10 minutes to drive down there. It's only half a mile or so down the road, so it's not that far. But then we get to the place, and of course we got to hike down a little bit of a hill. You'll see the hill later on in the end of the video as we climb up it, but we hike down, we got to go across the water, across the river, and then we start things up. We put the sluice out in the water. You can see Rich over there going, he's walking towards the sluice right now. That's going to be his spot for the day, and you see me digging. Basically, I was doing approximately 15 to 20 of those 5-gallon buckets you see here. I'm doing about 15 to 20 of those every day, and that's a classified bucket, and that's pretty much to the bottom of the classifiers. The green thing on the top of the 5-gallon bucket is a classifier. So you'll see it right here. Rich is about to put one on top. So then you just shake it. You shake it, all the dirt goes down, and you clean off the rocks. You try to get all the dirt and all the mud. As you can see, it wasn't easy digging down there. That was a lot of bedrock. So I had cleaned a lot of the stuff, a lot of the clay off the bedrock already. So now we were just kind of scraping for little bits and pieces here. We had already been to this spot for like 10 days. So you can see a whole lot of shaking going on right there. Basically, we just sit there and some of those little pieces of bedrock that you saw me chip off with the shovel, I actually crush them up because a lot of times there's some gold in there. So we were getting some pretty good gold. This hole that you see me digging out of here right now, basically that hole was about the size of the rock that's on my right hand side right now, that white rock. And that's what the size it was. This is pretty late in the season, maybe 3 or 4 weeks into the season, but we spent all the time in this one hole. We weren't doing a lot of digging. I was digging 4 hours a day, maybe 3 or 4 days a week. So it wasn't a lot of stuff, but that hole, as you can see, it was pretty big. Here you see Rich doing his thing, basically sitting there and loading that sluice up as fast as he can. At the end of the day, once we're all done,
I can try. Hey man, there's a lot of gold in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of gold in there, Pete.
Oh, there's a lot of gold, man.
It was. This was a good day. I think this was a 2.6 pennyweight day. For those of you who don't know, a pennyweight is 1/20th of an ounce, of a gold ounce. I believe it's a troy ounce, actually. And you don't hear the troy and all that kind of stuff because you're just hearing ounces. But right now, an ounce of gold is right around $5,000. So a pennyweight would be 1/20th of that. So what is that? $250? I think that's an easy calculation right there. So we were getting, say, 2.5 pennyweight. Our biggest day, we were doing 4.6 and 4.7 pennyweight sluicing in one day. You see the guy that's over here with us, that was Wayne. He was up there sluicing with us on the side of us. He was only there for a couple days. As a matter of fact, the days that we got the big loads, it was just the two of us. So we did 4.6, which is just over $1,000 in gold in one day. Very good spots. You know, these claims are up in Idaho, so it is what it is. You can see this is how you clean the sluice. Basically, you take the carpet out, you take the screen out, and then you just wash everything out of the sluice. And we put it in that half of a 50-gallon bucket right there. You see that is one of those big blue 50-gallon containers that we just cut in half, and we use it. Put water in there. Those carpets get cleaned out. You always put it back in there so that it dries in a nice, easy position.
I'll leave it there. Hasn't been that long. Right? Will you say I slept since then? Yeah. Well, when you're lying, you can say that. Yep.
So at the end of the day, we more or less just clean the sluice out. We go through, depending on how much material's here, we generally try to take it back in a coffee container. Maybe about a 1-gallon red coffee container. You'll see it here in a little bit. I think this day we ended up doing I was doing a lot of half-inch classifying. So there might have been a little bit more material. So this day we actually do a second classification. We do it down into the 1/8 inch. And you'll see see how much material's there right there. So we're not going to be able to put all that in that coffee container. So we end up doing the secondary on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna get full. He's still got a lot too, though. Yeah, but he goes down all the way to Black Chain. So don't put that one. I like blondes. I used to have to fight the blondes off.
I was always blonde hair, and I always thought more brunettes would be attractive to me, but I ended up more blonde myself. No good ones, but... Yeah, I think that'll fit in here.
As you can see, it's a lot of back and forth. I'm not a good panner yet, so you won't see me doing a lot of panning. I do a lot of panning of the stuff that, the bigger stuff, that if there's gold in it, you can see it pretty much, because I haven't had a lot of experience in panning. It is definitely something that you have to practice. As you can see right here, we're doing a second classification. We're just taking some of that bigger stuff out. I end up putting this coffee container on the backpack, and then I take it across the river and up the hill, and I take it back to camp. And although it's not heavy, believe me, this water, when you're walking through it, it's, you know, you're trying to walk through the stuff that's only a foot deep. If you get into the stuff that's 18 inches and 2 feet deep, and its water is going so fast and it's so strong, it takes you off your feet. Everybody here fell at least once this year. Shake, 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 shake.
There's one there, that's not the one you...
No.
No. Yeah, that's why I like keeping a bottle down here when I'm panning out, because when you pick them up, then you know you got what you put them back to, and then it disappears.
So you're not really just trying to get the dirt off, like all the separated dirt. You're trying to clean the rocks off too, because a lot of times the clay will stick to the rocks, and then the gold will be stuck in the clay. So basically you're trying to clean all the stuff off the rocks and put that in a bucket. You're not just trying to separate the rocks from the dirt.
Look at that. That's not that cleaned out the rocks.
I'm sitting at the screen.
Yeah.
Is that the...
That's only this is still good stuff. Also.
This is all good stuff, and that's the last of the screen. That's the big one.
As you can see, I don't know if you see it real quick, but Wayne's got a big sluice. This is, I think, a 14-inch wide sluice, which is a big sluice.
Yeah.
So this is the way out. Okay, we've actually put everything in. I'm wearing the backpack with all the dirt in it now, and we're walking across the stream. You can see this water. This is a little bit fast forward right now, but that water is not easy. I would love to see anybody come up here and try to walk across this water and just without even thinking about it. Say, close your eyes, because to be honest, what happens is the water pushes your feet around so much that when you put your foot down, you have to be careful where you stand. All those rocks, that's all at the bottom. This is all basically runoff, not runoff, tillage from when the Chinese were out here doing the dredging. And as you can see, that hill is not easy. I'm having a hard time getting up this hill. It's steep. We can just leave the truck out like this. We do lock it up and all, but the truck just stays right on the side of the road. When we're down there digging, we can see anybody drive by, and on a busy day we might see 2 cars. Yes, 2 cars. It's amazing. Here we are, we're back at camp now. Take everything out. I'm still wearing my wetsuit, so as you can see. There's the bus. I don't have that bus anymore. This year I got the Jeep and just a cargo trailer. I'm gonna miss that bus.
Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Hey, kitty.
Hi.
Always looking to play.
Okay. Bye.
So more or less, I take the gold out. Today we have 2 buckets of it. So we take it and we bring it over. I put it. You can see the gold cube and all the tables all getting set up. That's all going to be in part 2. So my day is I come over here. I take the wetsuit off, which isn't as easy as I make it look. And while Rich is doing some things around there, then we all meet back up and do another possibly about 2 hours worth of work at the campsite as far as separating the gold and taking it out of the black sand and all that kind of stuff. I got video. You'll see it in part 2. All right, guys. So all the gold has been basically cleaned up through the gold cube, and Rich has done his putting it down on the table, letting it dry, sifting off all the black magnetic sand, which I'm keeping, and he is now panning it out. So I'll show you day 2's pan.
I think we might just about call that